Yes, hello, good evening. Welcome to the Faithful Podcast YouTube channel. Instant match reaction to the clash between Tyrone and Offaly in the National Football League in Division 2, round 5. And it's finished Tyrone 28 points, Offaly 2 goals and 13 points. So a 9-point victory in the end for the Tyrone men. You might be confused by my background because, of course, I did say a couple of weeks ago that I would be at this game. Look, I was scheduled and I was planning on going up to Dungannon this evening, but just things that were going on during the week at home and everything like that, it just wasn't possible. I wasn't even able to go up to watch the Camogie team today in St Brendan's Park, because otherwise I would have gone and seen that as well, which I will. I'll start it off on a positive note. Well done to the Offaly Camogie team winning against Down earlier today, 3-12 to 10 points. Claude Lahi scoring a goal and 9 points. So big well done to them. Fantastic to see them getting off their first win in Division 1B this season. And hopefully it'll be positive for them going forward. But well done to the Offaly Camogie team. Super win against Down today. But in terms of the football, look, I just wasn't able to get up to the game in Dungannon today. And it's a shame because I was up in Derry last weekend doing the commentary, and that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. But then today, there was a response. I suppose, how can I break it down? Look, Offaly in the first half, I thought controlled the game really, really well. I thought we played with the ball extremely well, got some nice scores as well in the first half. Could have had a few more as well. That was a frustrating thing. Tyrone were kicking a couple of 2-pointers. Rory Canavan kicked one that was very good. Brian Kennedy kicked one as well. I believe it was just shortly after we got our goal as well, and that was sort of in a way the big difference at half time. Like, we started off well. Keith O'Neill got our opening 2 points of the game, and he was looking as sharp as ever as you'd expect from him, to be honest with you. He's probably our best footballer right now, you'd have to say. And again, he had a very, very good game, was creating a lot and was holding on to the ball a good bit. Jordan Hayes, I thought, had a really positive first half as well, was taking on lads and was driving forward as well. I think it's a shame about all the injuries that we have, because I think he is more of a midfielder, to be honest with you. Or maybe he could be a wing forward or something, because he likes going down the channels a lot. But he's having to play at centre forward at the moment. But look, I thought he was, positive in the way that he was approaching the game. To be fair to him, I thought Cormac Egan looked a lot better tonight than he kind of has over the course of the opening couple of games. He was taking on lads. He was looking strong. Got kicked a good point as well in the first half. Harry Plunkett, in fairness to him, kicked a nice 2-pointer in the second half. He was like he is a forward, to be fair to him. He's a natural forward, and he looked like he was a bit of a threat as well. So I thought he did relatively well at times as well. I thought Marcus Dalton did well tonight as well. I thought Darragh Flynn looked good as well. He got a goal at the end, albeit, it's damage limitations at that point, because we were essentially 12 points down and it reduced the gap to 9 in the end, which it doesn't make much of a difference in the end, but still a cracking goal from him, and hopefully does his confidence a bit of good as well. He got 1-2 in the end, so I thought he had a very, very good game, in fairness to him. Keith O'Neill ended the game with 4 points from play, so very positive from him. Marcus Dalton, you probably see him more as a back than a forward, but I still think he had a relatively good game as well. I think it was probably his best game overall. I think it was Offaly's best game overall in the league so far this year, obviously, from what I've seen, because I can't judge the Loud game. I wasn't there, so I can't really fully judge that game. But look, we have a lot of injuries at the moment, and it's very evident to tell. It's the same lads that are kind of going out every week at the moment, which is very, very tough on them. And I have to say as well, going up to Derry and then going up to Tyrone the following week, I mean, that's just ridiculous, to be honest with you. But look, nothing we can do about it. Tyrone, to their credit, look, Matty Donnelly, second half, kicked some unbelievable points, to be fair to him, and we were kind of giving them the time and space to do it a lot as well, which was a bit unfortunate. Rory Canavan kicked 5 points. Cassidy at centre forward, Ronan Cassidy kicked 3 points. Shawnee O'Donnell, I was about to say Shawnee O'Donnell kicks 3 points as well. I thought Con Fitzpatrick, or Kilpatrick I should say, was very good in the middle of the park, was strong there as well, and was a real force for Tyrone, to be honest with you. They were winning a lot of kickouts. I thought we did okay in kickouts at times, but then there were other times we weren't really contesting them, which was sort of frustrating, to be honest with you. Brian Kennedy finished with 2 points with his 2-pointer as well. So look, the goal that Jack McAvoy got in the first half, it levelled the game up, and it brought us, to within touching distance of Tyrone. Like, it was only 2 points at half time. I thought we were doing relatively well, considering we were playing against the wind as well. But we just didn't make full use of the wind in the second half. It looked at times, again, that we were nearly sometimes a bit afraid to maybe shoot, which is still a small bit of a concern. But Tyrone, against the wind, were just so much better and much sharper and much more clinical than us in the second half. There's no question about that. I mean, they scored 16 points in the second half. against the wind, so we clearly just weren't at the races at all during the second 35, unfortunately. I have to say, not the reason that we lost. Tyrone were the better side overall, but if I'm going to be critical, like, I've not blamed a referee for any game this season. I've not made a comment on a referee all season throughout any of our games. But James Malloy this evening, I thought he was shocking. I'm going to be honest. Not the reason we lost, but he was giving them a lot of soft frees. At times, we weren't getting the benefit of the doubt, and his decision making at times was very odd. And the black card. I'm sorry now. What was Jack McAvoy supposed to do in that situation? Off the top of my head, I can't remember who it was that ran into him, but he lays off the ball to Cormac Egan, and then a Tyrone player just runs into him. He's not blocking him. He runs into him, and it's a black card. Wasn't even a foul, and he gives a black card. Ridiculous stuff. I just felt he was very much against us at times, and he was very much in Tyrone's favour. Look, not the reason we lost. We lost because we weren't good enough in the end, and Tyrone were better than us. But for me, James Malloy, he had a very bad game. I'm sorry now. Like, I have not blamed referees all season, so nobody can come at me for that. But yeah, no, very poor. Very, very poor from him this evening, to be honest with you. But where do we go from here? Look, it's 5 defeats now in a row. Relegation is, look, if we're going to be honest, relegation is probably, it's going to happen if we're being realistic about it. Look, we might still have a chance. Kildare at the moment, they're on 3 points. And they're playing Meath at the moment. Meath were winning at half-time by 7 points. And I think Meath should go on and probably win that game. Cavan were destroyed essentially by Louth as well. So Louth are pretty much not going down anyways. There's no doubt about that at this stage. Might still have a chance of promotion. You never know anyway. We'll wait and see. But 0 points after the opening 5 games. It was always going to be a difficult division for us to be in, to be competing in. And look, we do have Cavan and Meath at home in our final 2 games, so we'll see how those 2 games go. Maybe Meath will have promotion secured, or they'll be in a decent enough position that they might not need to go all guns blazing against us. Cavan are still going to be a tricky task at the end of the day. They bet Kildare last weekend at home. Probably should have beaten Cork, probably should have beaten Meath as well. So they're not going to be simple in 2 weeks' time by any stretch of the imagination. But look, we're just going to have to go there with a positive mindset. Hopefully we might have a player or 2 back, because you could just see at the moment we're nearly dead on our feet at the moment. We're not able to close games out, or we're not able to really bring on the strongest of players that we have on our panel, if we're being honest. I mean, look, you look at the players we're missing: John Furlong, Cathal Flynn, Paddy Dunnigan, Dylan Hyland, David Dempsey was out tonight. Like, we're missing a lot of players. Jack Bryant, a core, Kyle Higgins. Like, there's a huge mountain of players that we're missing at the moment, and crucial players as well, really good standard footballers. But yeah, look, it's a tough one to take. And look, I won't be at the Cavan game, I won't be at the Meath game. I'll be abroad for those 2 games, so hopefully they'll be able to pick up some wins there, and maybe can just even going into the Leinster Championship, we can have a bit of positivity. But I do say that Laois have put in a very good performance tonight and have beaten Westmeath 3-16 to 113. So that's going to be a very tricky game for us now in the Leinster Championship. But yeah, look, going forward, look, it's just another tough defeat to take, and you want to keep supporting these lads, and I am going to keep supporting these lads, because the last thing we need to be doing right now is criticising them, or, well, look, you can criticise them, just don't be going at them or anything like that. Like, I don't want to see anybody on Facebook now or Instagram or anything having a go at these lads and saying they're a disgrace, or, oh, they're not fit to wear the shirt, and anything like that. These lads at the end of the day are giving up their lives to play for Offaly. Do you know what I mean? And we're in a sticky situation, so they'll always have my backing no matter what. But it is just tough being an Offaly football supporter right now, to be honest with you. After the defeat against Derry last weekend, look, we got a response. There's no question about that. And it couldn't have gotten any worse after last weekend. There's no doubt about that. But I just don't know where we go from here, to be honest with you. It's we're heading back to Division 3. Yeah, it's just tough. Ishvan, good to see you. Ishvan, my old buddy from who was in Ireland for a brief period during our college days. I read not long ago that Offaly got its nickname because fans remained faithful, loyal to the club during difficult times. Maybe it's a similar situation. Look, we're going to remain faithful, Ishvan. There's no question about that. I'm going to remain faithful. Look, I'd have been at the game tonight, only just circumstances at home. Just couldn't get up to it. But like other than that, I've been at every Offaly game this year, bar the Loud game, because I was at the Kilkenny hurling match, and I'm going to keep supporting these lads, and I'm going to keep wishing them the best, obviously. But obviously at the moment it is just difficult with the situation we're in. And look, we're probably going to need Meath to beat Kildare now, to be honest with you, to leave Kildare on 3 points, and Cavan will be on 2 points, I believe. They've lost every game bar the Kildare one. So look, it's not looking great for us heading into the final 2 rounds. But look, we just got to try and stay somewhat positive. There is good footballers in Offaly, and there is reason to be positive enough about the future. It's just about having a good structure in place, having the right players in there, having the right starting 15 in there, having a strong bench. Because like at the end of the day, last year we got promoted from Division 3, and last year especially after the way 2024 went, we weren't really expected to go up from Division 3. So we're probably playing at a high division right now that maybe in a way doesn't suit us, but at the same time, it's good to get these games and to see where exactly you're at. You're better off playing Kildare's. You're better off playing Loud, Meath, I was about to say Donegal, Kildare. You're better off playing these teams, Derry, Tyrone. You're better off playing these teams and seeing exactly where you're at and where you need to get to. But look, tough result to take. Tyrone, look, well done to them. At the end of the day, they were still a better side than us. But yeah, it's a tough one to take. It's a tough one to take. So look, just a quick wrap up, anyways. Just to even preview the hurling very quickly before I go as well. Look, we're again in a sticky situation. We've had 4 defeats out of 4, and we're going up against the best hurling side of the last 10 years tomorrow against Limerick. And when you look at the team that Limerick have selected, it's not great reading for us, really, to be honest with you. But look, I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be supporting them, and I hope to God we can put in some kind of a performance. Look, I feel like the hurling campaign has been a small bit more positive to be looking at, and there's been a bit more energy about it than maybe the football, if we're being honest about it. But tomorrow is a real step up from what we faced so far, even from Tipperary that won the All-Ireland last year. You saw what Limerick did to Tip last weekend. They put 36 points past them. Correct me if I'm wrong. They got 32 from play. Shane O'Brien's in the form of his life. Cathal O'Neill is settling nicely back into the Limerick team. Adam English is in the form of his life. Aaron Gillan is, he's doing Aaron Gillan things at the moment. Aidan O'Connor hit 11 points last weekend. I believe 7 were from play. Like he's on fire at the moment. They've Kyle Hayes back. They've Will O'Donoghue. I know he's not starting tomorrow, but like they've these types of players playing. Colin Coughlin, who I was very impressed with in the Fitzgibbon campaign, he's at wing back tomorrow. He's capable of getting a couple of long range points as well. But look, again, we just got to go into it with a bit of positivity and just see what we can get out of it. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be a tough 70 minutes, but we'll support them for 70 minutes and see where we go from there. Look, I'm excited to see how certain players get on. Look, Cottle King's out tomorrow, which is very, very tough. He's a tough player to have out, to be honest with you. I was really looking forward to seeing how he get on against Limerick, but he won't be there tomorrow. I have a feeling they might throw someone like Oisin Kelly or probably Brian Dignan on Kyle Hayes, I'd imagine, because you need someone big on him. Turgeon has gone to wing forward. Colin Spain, Donald Shirley midfield. That'll be an interesting pair and see how they get on. Good to see Ross Ravenhill back. Not sure about Brecon Kavanagh being on the bench. I'm not too sure if that's a great decision. I'd be playing Brecon Kavanagh against Limerick unless he's injured. I don't know why he's not playing, but that would remain to be seen for that. Good to have Killian Sampson back anyways at this time of the year. Luke Nolan on corner forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on as well, alongside Dignan and Screeney in the corner in the full forward line. So look, we just got to go into it with a bit of positivity and see what happens anyways. Look, again, relegation to Division 1B is looking inevitable at this point, with Limerick and Cork being our final 2 opponents. Again, I'll be abroad for the Cork game, so I won't be there for that. But yeah, look, we just got to hope and pray and see what happens anyways, and hopefully we might be able to put in a solid enough performance for 70 minutes. So yeah, that's the end of the video anyways. Just a quick recap on the game that just took place between Tyrone and Offaly. Tyrone winning 28 points to 2-13, and looking forward to the hurling tomorrow. Again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, for anyone who might just be tuning in now, congrats to the Offaly Camogie team beating down today by 12 to 10 points. And I believe the ladies footballers are also in action this weekend. So the very best of luck to them in their match. Or they might not be. Sorry, I'm having a very slow couple of minutes. I believe I'm just gonna check here. I did put up the team earlier. I promise I did. I'm not losing my mind completely. It's been a long day, lads. Forgive me for this. No, we're not playing tomorrow. Sorry, no, it's the minor team that are playing tomorrow. Well, the best of luck to them, anyways. But yeah, look, thanks to anyone who has tuned in. I'll hopefully have a reaction of some kind from the Limerick game tomorrow, anyways. But until then, thanks a million for watching, guys. Don't forget to tune into Cooley Media tomorrow, 8 p.m. sharp, where myself and Aaron Prendergast, Gaelic Games Fan TV, Seamus Brady from Moncleha, and Matthew Hurley, the Gaelic Statsman, will be looking back on all the weekend's action from across the country in all 4 codes. So be sure to tune into Cooley Media at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. So that wraps it up. Thanks a million for tuning in, lads, and I'll be chatting to you again very soon. Until then, Torah.